So once again, my name is Dr. Sari. I'll be taking you through this course. If you want to make your dreams come true, the first thing you want to do is to wake up. Use Sakai a lot. Use Sakai a lot. So once again, everyone, you are welcome. You're welcome to the journey through the valley of the shadows of advanced quantitative research methods. You'll be learning a lot of quantitative work. This is my research area, just in case. I do mathematical efficiency and productivity modeling. Please, those of you who are WhatsApping me, who are sending me message, please don't send it here, send it by WhatsApp. Okay, send it by WhatsApp. All right. So check my blog. You will see some of my area for those of you who want to work the publications. I use a lot of linear programming, data envelopment analysis, and stochastic frontier econometrics, and I apply them in these following areas. Okay, so these are the courses that I teach, and I'll be walking you through the advanced quantitative research methods for that. So please, I'll be very, very practical because I understand that this is a diversified discipline. We have health, public administration, marketing, we have accounting, we have economics, we have all of these things that are there. Okay, it's very important. So I'll take all of that in consideration. But that is not to say that you will not do a lot of mental work, because PhD requires a lot of mental work. So you'll be doing that. Please turn off your phone. Okay, the worst case scenario, you want to silence it, not vibration, but silence it, because you need a lot of mind to be able to follow up what is happening. The slides have been given already, so if you don't have the slides, contact the TA. He will be guiding you through that. If you have problems from the onset, let me know, okay, so that I address it quickly on the basis that these are the timetable. I'll be doing surgeries, okay, I'll be doing surgery. Talk to your supervisors many of the times, worry them from the onset, and if you have a challenge to let me know. I cut across most departments, so if you contact me, I'll be able to guide you from the onset. Sometimes people in marketing, public admin, health, they might say, oh, we don't need quanti. You need quanti. You need quanti. Okay, you will need it, and then you use it. So please do not shy away from this quantitative. Now, I've changed this, but like I said, I've swapped some things. Okay, I've swapped some things. I'll be shifting some of the percentages to some. So participation in class, I'm going to make it 20%. I'll do the assignment 20%. I'll do the midterm paper 15%. I'll do presentation 15%. So I've changed it slightly. So class participation is very important. Asking a question in class is very important, and addressing an answer to a question is also very important. So please don't hide. Don't hide. Use the icons a lot, and try as much as possible to be asking a lot of questions. Lots of questions. If there is noise in your background, always mute yourself unless you have a question to ask. Noel, do you have a question? Your hand is up. All of you.
Yes, Doc.
Go ahead.
Yes, Doc. So I was going to ask if what I saw in the timetable meant that your lecture is going to be held twice a week.
Correct.
Okay. All right, Doc. Thank you.
Most welcome. All right. Please lower your hands. It will help me to know those who have questions and those who don't have. Gilbert Mombazaza, you can lower your hand now. All right.
Hello, Doc. Hello, Doc.
Who is talking?
Hello.
Is it Maxwell Bedu?
Hello, Doc.
Yeah, Doc, this is Maxwell.
Yes. Gilbert, if you have a question, raise your hand, please.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I wanted to find out, one, if the classes, the second class on Thursday, whether it is also going to be normal lessons, or we are going to have hands-on practicals.
You have
And
practicals.
another, yes, other suggestions to have come that your course is very practical. So if the PhD class is not more than 40, I think we can make arrangements to be meeting face to face, which will be more helpful because we would have a lot of time to interact and
Okay.
in class and all that since it's practical.
Uh,
Thank you.
yes, it's possible. I will ask the administrator to see. Isa, please put that on record, okay? I'll ask the administrator on that. Tonida, your question, please.
Tony Dazi, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my question is coming from where the last my colleague asked in terms of how we could have some face-to-face to be able to really appreciate the program, and then also the assessment. Just to confirm, you said the participation is 20%, assignments are 20%, midterm paper 15%, making 40, midterm paper 15%, and then presentation 50%, making 60.
Presentation is 1/5.
Presentation is 1/5, and
Yes.
the final paper 30.
Yeah.
Making 100. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Once you lower your hand, I will appreciate your thank you now. All right, Gilbert, you had a question.
Yes, I have a question. Thank you, Doc. My first comment has to do with the fact that we are showing our video. I realize that I don't know of the others, but the bandwidth is quite low for the connection, and having about 50 people, their video being streamed, it puts a burden on the link, and that is why, from my experience, your voice is not smooth. So I respect very much the fact that we need to all be.
That's
Back on.
all right. So Isa, are you calling me?
Doc, you broke for a while.
Okay. So let me just. I was saying the teaching is very interactive, so I'll be asking you lots and lots of questions, lots of questions. So just be ready for that. All right. I want to share quickly with you before we go into the nitty-gritties how research can be undertaken. The Journal of Economic Literature, okay, the Scholar Google, social sciences, okay, you can pose a question there to get a research question. You can search through journals online and get a research topic. You have to dig into the literature to be able to get what is going on in the literature. You will have to do this for the next 4 years of your life. You have to collect data. And one thing that worries people a lot is data collection. You have to start early whenever you are doing data collection. You have to store your data, inspect it, clean it, and then think about real methodological analysis you're going to be doing. And then you have to write. You have to write from the beginning of doing your research and throw it away and write and throw it away and write and don't wait till everything is sorted before you write it. Writing starts from day one. A typical PhD thesis is made up of at least 3 papers. So when I look at the thesis that you are eventually going to write, there must be a group of 3 papers in it. These 3 papers are what you need to make the PhD a true PhD. Now, how do you get a 3 papers? The way you will organize the thesis will redefine whether or not you get a 3 papers. So it's very important to, even if you are doing literature review and connecting it to methodology, you have to somebody must be able to see clearly the 3 papers in your thesis. The person must see it. If the person doesn't see the 3 papers, it's going to be a bit of a problem. Each paper must have an introduction, a theoretical framework, a literature review, a methodology, data, results, discussions, and recommendations, conclusions, appendices, and references. Each paper must have that, and the thesis must have that. So it's very important you think through every time you're learning, you think about that. I know many of you have written papers before coming here. Okay? Some of you have written papers a lot. Let me see by hands, those of you who have written some PhD about papers. Okay. Anybody written any paper in 3-star journal? 3-star first. Let's start with 3-star. Okay, because that's where I write my papers. I try to write my papers in 3-star before I look at even any other. So Edward Tete, Eddie, okay. So Eddie, tell us about the paper you wrote. If you were to pick the well in your mind.
I had a paper some years ago after my MPhil on a theoretical study on the governance arrangement of private universities in Ghana. It's a paper I published with Journal of Corporate. I'm not too sure of the forgotten.
All right, okay.
But it's hosted by Emerald.
All right.
Yeah. And recently I published also in a journal of work education, and it's also in journal. It's also in Emerald.
Are you already a lecturer?
Yes, sir.
Which university?
Methodist.
All right, okay. Okay. Yeah, that's great. That's wonderful. That's great. And Manuel Jabba, which one did you have?
Yes, sir. So mine was in the IEEE Internet of Things journal. It was on encryption protocol for resource constrained devices in fork-based IoT using one-time pads.
Okay. Which methodology did you use?
We did simulation actually. We simulated the test beds and then we wrote some code to test for randomness.
Okay. And it was in which journal?
Pardon?
Which journal?
Hello? IEEE Internet of Things journal.
All right, okay, okay. All right, Grace, I saw your hand. Where is Grace? There was one Grace who had written a paper, she's gone out. Yes, Grace.
I'm here.
Grace, I don't see you.
Hello.
Yeah, I don't see you.
Sorry.
All right, continue.
So I have one with Journal of Pharmaceutical Policy and Practice. And then there is another journal. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. We are listening.
Yeah, so it's actually with 2 journals. I'm trying to get the name for the
Are you in academia?
Journal of Pharmaceutical. No, not yet.
Okay. But you see, given the way you are publishing like that, you should be in academia already.
I'm trying to get into academia.
Okay, where are you now?
I'm actually into private practice.
Okay, you want to chop plenty money, that's why.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So the
Guys,
other journal is with Journal of Pharmaceutical Health Services Research.
Okay. All right. So that's really, really good, because by the time you finish your PhD and you have about at least 3 papers, guys, this is good. This is really, really good. And not just in any small papers. They must be in top level papers. Because one of the things I see is that people are just publishing and because for the namesake. Okay. Some predatory journals and they are publishing there. You got to go to target 3-star. Okay. If that doesn't work, you go to 2-star. Okay. I saw Tony Dazi, you have something to say.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us are transitioning away from corporate to academia. That informs our PhD. So we may have to ask some questions. When you mention 1-star, 2-star, 3-star journals,
What do I
with
mean?
my lecturer, exactly, because
Okay.
I partnered with my lecturer. I joined my MBA to get my MBA published in the International Journal for Business and Management. And since 2011, I finished. But I don't really know whether it's a 1-star, a 2-star, 3-star journal or aspect. So how do we, those of us who are understand how?
Okay. So there is a general ranking the business school have done already based on a collation from other ranking journals. There is an association of business schools. Okay, they have a rankings of journals. So the general rankings are there. If you just type business school general rankings, or now that is more multidisciplinary, you are talking about pharmaceuticals and economics and mathematics and statistics and all that. Okay, so the business school, you see, the business school is becoming much more academic cosmopolitan. Okay, much more interdisciplinary. So people in mathematics are coming in the business school. People in statistics, economics are coming there. People in pharmacy are coming here. People in geology, in different subdisciplines of health, medicine, they are coming to the business school. So the business school have compiled all the possible journals and their rankings. Okay, I have it. Isa has it. Isa can give it to you. And when we say a journal, it starts usually from 4-star. 4-star journals are journals that are top class. I mean, before you can publish there, you must be, the idea, the conceptual framework, the theoretical underpinnings has to be top world class. Sometimes you may have already been recognized as an editor, or a co-editor or a reviewer of several journals for you to even be recognized, and your knowledge will even be pushed into those journals. Unless you've attached yourself sometimes with a top class member of an academia to be able to get your paper published there. So these are people who are formulating real paradigms. You know, the paradigms are top class, the ideas, the theoretical underpinnings are top class, and then you can get your paper published there. Then we have people who are publishing in 3-star, again top class, very empirical, and also new. Okay, very new. If you are writing a paper and the paper is a 1-class journal kind of paper, and you send it to a 4-star journal, it will be rejected straight away. Sometimes that same day to be rejected. Okay, it is a way to help you that some of them will not even, sometimes you don't even bother to reply you because it's not good. It's not good at all. So sometimes you look at the input you have put in, you juxtapose that with what others have done, and you look at the journals they are publishing, and then you know where you are sending it to. So that is why, as a beginner, when you are publishing, you attach yourself with others, you collaborate with other people so that you will learn from how they are going about it. Because publishing a journal paper is not easy. It's not easy at all. And then you struggle to publish it, and then it's rejected again. The ordeal is sometimes because you have either priced your paper too high, and so that's why it was rejected. And sometimes you don't want to price it too low because you could have gone up a bit. And so that is why sometimes you collaborate and then you get to people. But then the higher the star, the greater the quality of the journal. 4-star, top class. So for example, in economics, okay, one of the top class is American Economic Review. Once you know your paper is going into the American Economic Review, Econometrica, Journal of Political Economy, Econometrics, Journal of Econometrics, okay, and areas like that, then you know that is okay. When you go into finance, Journal of Finance, corporate finance, okay, then you are now getting the idea of some of these areas. So the paper is there, look at it and it will tell you. I would say that always put yourself in the area of 3-star, 2-star, 3 stars, 2-star. And if you struggle and it's not working, you can change it or you can send it to 1-star. Okay, you can send it to 1-star. So that is it. I hope I've been able to help slightly in answering your question. Okay, let's move on.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Look, I'm okay. Thank you.
So there are 2 types of data you'll be dealing with: categorical and numerical data types. So please familiarize yourself with it. Categorical are data types that are nominal and ordinal in nature. A typical example of nominal is when you are trying to look at a man and a woman. Okay, male and female are typical types of categorical data. Okay? There is no intrinsic ordering. There is no meaningful ordering. You can't say male is better than a female. Now, when you go to ordinal, as the name sounds, it looks like you can order rank them. So a typical example of ordinal data types are those that have Likert scale. Example, okay, you have strongly agree, strongly disagree, neutral, and all of that. Okay, this is a typical example of ordinal data types. Or you can talk about lecturer, senior lecturer, associate professor, professor, TA, and all of that. These are rankable. You can order them. Okay, and these are all under categorical data. Numerical data, very clear, numbers. Okay, so you can look at intervals. For example, your exam scores are in intervals. Whether you have an A or you have a B, it is an interval. 80 to 100 is A. The interval is what is important, not just the 80 or the 100. So let's say that you have 2 people. One of them say, I had a mark of 96. Instead of you had a mark of 81. The person would laugh at you, but there's no need for the person to laugh at you because all of them are A. Okay, that's a typical example of interval. But ratio is the ultimate. Ratio, you can rank them, you can measure them, you can count them. Okay, so a typical example is your age, your height, the amount of salary you are earning. All of these are typical examples of ratio data. And most of the time when you're doing a research, number 1 is to go for ratio data. If you can't get ratio data, interval. If you can't get interval, ordinal. If you can't get ordinal, then you go to the bottom one, nominal. Because nominal data types are subjective. Okay, they are very subjective. There's no objectivity in them. And so that is why they become the last one. Whenever you have your data, especially quantitative data, you have to present them. And we'll be doing a number of these presentations. You have to present them. And the presentation, you have to put them in something we call descriptive statistics. Who can give me an example of a descriptive statistics? So, an example of what goes into the descriptive statistics. Who can give me an example? Just to be sure whether you understand what I mean by descriptive statistics. All of you have done master's degree. Alex, give me one. Give me some. Alex Kweku. Okay, Gabriel.
Age.
Sorry?
Age classification.
Age. Did you say age?
Yes, age classifications or age groupings of the maybe the respondents.
Okay, nice try, Gabriel, but that is not exactly what I'm looking for. Okay, some of the summary statistics. Grace. No. Yeah, Grace.
So we can talk of the mean.
The mean. What else?
Mode median.
Mode median, Portia. She has said your own, eh?
Is standard deviation part?
Yes, standard deviation. But next time, please raise your hand, eh? Otherwise, you have a lot of talkings. Okay, standard deviation. What else? Ni Ayi Solomon.
Yes, Doc. So we can also talk about the measure of dispersion or variations such as range, variances, standard deviation, and so on.
Thank you. Guys, if you don't know these things, you'll be putting them down. What else? What are some of the strange ones people don't normally bring, but you know them? Delhi, Doche.
Yeah. Yes, Doc. Skewness, ketosis.
Good. Skewness and the ketosis. Okay. Especially when you're dealing with what kind of data? What kind of data will you be dealing more with? Skewness and ketosis. If you don't know, lower your hands. What kind of data will you be dealing with? Skewness and ketosis. What kind of data? Karimu. Karimu. All right. Yes, Prince.
Usually when the data is not normally distributed.
Very good. Okay. So when you have very skewed outlying data, okay, and then you'll be discussing all of these related to those. All right. So descriptive statistics are the first thing. We'll be taking a paper. We'll be taking a paper and I'll be walking you through how all of these things are done. Okay. All right. Now, inferential statistics. Okay. Sometimes, okay, it allows you to determine the appropriate inferential statistics that you want to use. Okay. You want to test for statistical inferences, such as, who can tell me some of the statistical inferences one can make on his data set? Who can tell me some? Any of the statistical inferences? Okay. Any of them? Yes, Prince.
You can look at the correlation.
Correlation is one. What else?
Regression.
Oh, hold on. Regression, we banded everything together. Okay. Correlation is what else? Let's go to Portia. Yes, Portia. I think Portia is probably pressing the thing. Okay, Teresa.
You can talk of ANOVA. Hello.
Portia, you forgot yourself, eh?
Hello.
Yes, Portia.
Hello, Doc. Yeah, please, you can talk of ANOVA. ANOVA test.
All right, okay. Yes, Bosomche. Bosomche. All right. So you can have a lot of this t-test, z-test, okay? And then you can go to the non-parametric test, Kolmogorov test, Mann-Whitney U test, okay? Friedman, Kruskal-Wallis, and all of those. You can look at some of those inferential statistics. All of this will help you to know when to, how to make inferences about the data. All right. So at this stage, I'm going to show you the software you'll be using for this course. There are two main software, but I'll be emphasizing on this most. R software. Ladies and gentlemen, please, at this stage, I want you to pay attention because every one of you need to download the R software. Look at the name. Download the R Studio and download the R, the letter R. This is critical. The first mistake people do is that they don't do this thing immediately after the class. They rather do it later. But then they don't know that on Wednesday when we come back here, we are going to use this package immediately. So first, download the R, the latest version. Second, download the R Studio, the latest version. They are all free. They are all free. Download them. Now, when you are installing, please note, when you are installing, you install the R first. And then you install the R Studio second. When you're installing, you install the R package first. And then you install the R Studio second. We'll be using this R and R Studio a lot in our discussion. Now, another thing I want to, so please, do you get that part, R and R Studio? You got to download and install them. The next thing is this. You need to study this data set. This is the name of the data set. It's called mtcars. It's a data set. It's inside the R. It's inside the R studio. And how do you get it? So please follow some guidelines I'm about to give you. Let me tell you a little bit about this data set. We'll be using this data set a lot to understand most of the quantitative ambience and the methodologies we'll be dealing with. It's a cross-sectional data. I'll be telling you much about cross-sectional. By the way, a quick cross-sectional data is data you have collected at one point in time. It only changes across individuals. So 1 year. It does not change across time. So let's say that you go and collect the number of banks in Ghana data. You collect the data on banks, EcoBank, StanChart, ABSA. You go and collect data on all of the banks for only 2020. That is a cross-sectional data. But the moment you collect 2020, 2020, 2019, 2018, you add more, it becomes a panel data. It becomes a panel data. So this is a cross-sectional data, just 1 year, okay? And it was extracted from 1974 about some car types. Now, the car types, it comprises the consumption and 10 different aspects of the car. In all, there are 32 automobiles. All of them were made in 1973 and 1974. Now, you can find this data in Henderson and Fellerman. That's where you can find the data, in Henderson and Fellerman. Now, when you go look at that paper, the data is there. And the title of his paper was Building Multiple Regression Models Iteratively. It was published in Biometrics. Now, the entire data frame is made in a certain way, where you have columns, and there are 32 observations and 11 columns. These are some of the column names. These are some of the column names that you'll get. I'm giving you a bit of an idea about this data for a reason, because I'm about to tell you to go and do something. One of the first columns, you get miles per gallon. It is labeled as MPG, miles per gallon, which measures the fuel economy in the car. And the belief is that, if the car has a lot of miles per gallon, then it's supposed to be a very good car. Then there is cylinders. So you have something representing cylinders, which is CYL, cylinders, which shows that the more power that the car will have will depend on the number of cylinders. But you see, so you have something like 4-cylinder cars, okay, 6-cylinder cars, and then things like that. Okay. Now, the power an engine produces is called horsepower. Those of you with cars will know this already. And so you will have something representing horsepower, HP, horsepower. It will be one of the columns. Then you have displacement, which is determined from the bore and stroke of an engine of the car cylinder. These are some of the names that you're going to see. So the first column, you will get MPG, cylinder, displacement, horsepower, draft, weight. That is the weight of the car in 1,000 pounds. Okay, weight of the car, and then kilsec, which is 1/4 mile time. The VS, which is the vertical speed. The vertical speed, okay, of the car is also shown there, and whether the car is automatic or the car is manual. We'll be using this data type a lot, so that's why I want you to go and study a bit of it. So the automatic or manual, it's a dummy variable. It's a dummy variable. A dummy variable is a variable which is a binary or dichotomous variable. Okay. A typical example is male, female. When I tell you a dummy variable, male, female, is a dummy variable. You can have another dummy variable, which is marital status. That one is not just two, binary. Okay. You can have single, which is one, married, which is another. You can have divorce. You can have widowed. Okay. So in this case, you have 4 levels. But when you look at gender, it has how many levels? 2 levels. When you look at marital status, you have 4 levels. You can have yes or no. It's a dummy variable. Go or come is a dummy variable. Approve or reject is a dummy variable. Defective or not defective is a dummy variable. You can even have a dummy variable for type of a bank. Whether it's a state bank, whether it's a foreign bank, or it's a domestic bank. You have to be writing a lot when I'm talking, because these things, I'll be just throwing them across. So that's a typical example of a dummy variable. And AM, automatic or manual, is a dummy variable. 0 when it is automatic, 1 when it is manual. And you code them. Dummy variables, you code them. Now, another thing you have is gear. You know, the car has a forward gear. Okay, so sometimes you can have 4 forward gears, 5 forward gears, and things. Another thing is carburetor. The number of carburetors is represented by carb. Okay, and we know that the carburetor regulates the flow of air and gasoline. Okay. So that is the data. How do you get the data? The data is already in the R studio. It's already in the memory of R. So how do you get it there? Now, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to show you something on my screen now, very quickly, and I pray and I hope that you are able to follow me and then watch, notice, see how this is done. So what I'm going to do, the screen is going to change slightly, but don't worry. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open an R Studio. So that is an interface of the R Studio. Let me show you how yours will look like when you open it. This is how it will look like. Look at the top left. Look on the top left. I'm recording this for you for a reason. Look on the top left, and you see the cursor blinking at what number? The cursor is blinking at what number?
Screen width.
Our number?
1.
Thank you. It's blinking at number 1.
Number
Okay.
1.
Thank you. All right. So what you do now is this. We want to get that motor vehicle data. You want to get it. How do you get it into this? You will type something. In fact, there's a package you install. So look on the right here. Do you see packages? Do you see packages?
Yeah.
Good. And the packages, you will see install. You click on install. A pop-up will show. A pop-up will show. And you see the cursor is blinking inside packages. Type package called car. You see, the moment you start typing and you have internet, car will start showing. Car will start showing. And then you click it. At the bottom, you click install. And within a minute, the entire package will install. Once it's done, close it. I have already installed it, so I don't want to install again. Once you close it, come to packages here, where I am. Under packages, scroll through the list. You should see that car thing. That is what you see there. It's down here. Car. 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 That is car. Once car is there, okay, once car is there, what you do now is to invoke it. Invoke it. Invoke it. And I'm going to invoke it for you. Ladies and gentlemen, invoking it is not difficult. It's just a matter of ticking that box there. there's a little box to the left of car. Okay, take it, pat like that. And that's what I just did. And once you take it, here you will see the word library car. Now you could type the same thing here. Library, I'm typing it in the console at the top. Look at the top, number 1. Library car. And once you type library car, you will run it. How do you run it? Look on the top right here. You see run. Once you click run, it will run. And then the answer will show down there in the result center. We call this result center the console. So once, anytime it shows blue nicely like that, it means that everything is well packaged. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please watch something. Now we want to see the data I just showed you. The name of the data is mtcars. Watch, even when I started typing, it started showing itself. mtcars. So you will type it, mtcars, and you will run it. You can do Control Enter to run, or you can go and click run. Once you click run, the entire data set will show down here. Do you see it down here? Do you guys see it down there?
Yes.
Perfect. This is what I want you to go and do. And then come next time. Because next time we are going to work on this. As long as you can show your data like that. Now, the data is made up of MPG, which is the first one. Watch it there. You see it, MPG. Followed by cylinder. And you can see that the cylinders are different numbers. 6-cylinder car, 4-cylinder car, 8-cylinder car. The displacement numbers are there. The horsepower is there. The draft is where. The weight is given by WT. The kill-sec, 1/4 of kill-sec is there. The VS, okay, the VS is there, okay, and then I indicated that was the vertical speed, okay. So it's either 0 or 1. Anything that is 0 or 1, 0 or 1, or 1, 4, or 1, 2, okay, or 1, 2, 3, 4. Anything that is 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, or 0, 1, 2. Or 0, 1, 2, or 1, 2, or 1, 2, or 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4. Anything like that is called a dummy variable. Categorical variable. Note it down. You will need this. Anything like that is known as a dummy variable. A categorical variable. Anything like 0, 1, 0, 1. It's not continuous. It's not continuous. It's like there are multiples of that thing. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Anything like that is a dummy categorical variable. So I want you to be able to get this data set into your R. First of all, you have to install the R. Second, install the R Studio. Third, inside the R Studio, install a package here, which is known as car, if you don't have it. But please check it. Sometimes you may have it. Check it first. Then once you've confirmed that you have it, type library car and run it at the top, clicking on run. Then you type empty and then you run. Once this is done, close your work and sleep. And then I'll see you next time. When I see you next time, we will work on this data. Because you see, what I want you to do is that by the time we meet next time, you have this data already there in the memory of R. Now I'm going to be taking a lot of questions. Let's start with Georgia Samoa.
Doc, thank you very much. I would like to know, are you to get it from, can you get the package from Google?
Yes, just type R. And the first one will take you to a website and you can download the latest version.
All right. Okay.
And just type R Studio. It will also take you to a web page and you can download the latest version. They are easy. Let me just do a quick example for you.
Okay.
Let's do a quick example. Okay, so I'm just typing R, the letter R, just that. And there you go. The first one that came, do you see? R, Project for Statistical Computing. The first one. Click on it like this.
Yes.
It has opened. Then when you get here, it says Getting Started. R is a free software environment for statistical computing and graphics, compiles and runs a wide range of blah, 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 blah. Now, the key point is that word, to download R. Download R. So you click Download R. Once you click on this, this is what happens. It will now take you to any of this website you can do. Go to the bottom and select Bristol. Okay, Bristol or anyone. Okay, Bristol. I like Bristol, UK, Bristol. Okay. Or Imperial College, anyone, any of the UK one. Then you click, once you get down here, you select Bristol one. Then it will take you to this page. Then at this page, download for Windows. If you are using Linux, select Linux. If you are using MacBook, use the MacBook one. And then, once I'm using Windows, so you click on Windows. And then at this section, you will select this one there, the base, which is install R for the first time. Click on that. And then at the very top, you see the latest version. Download R 4.03 for Windows. Click it, then you have to identify where you want to save it. Okay, I want to save it here, and then you click yes, and then boom, you can save it. The rest is history. I mean, you've all been downloading and saving things. So at this stage, you save it. Director, have I explained it well for you?
Yes, Doc.
Perfect.
Thank you very much.
Let's say you want the R Studio. You go to your search again. Type R Studio. The first one that will come, select that. Okay, and that is the R Studio here, the first one. Just click on that one too. It will take you to the website where you will download the R Studio for free. At the top here, you scroll down, scroll down, scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. Then you will see the first one, the free version. Don't go and choose any other version. Okay. Don't choose the R Studio server, blah, 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 blah. Just choose the first one here. And then click download. And that will bring you to this section. Then you can download for Windows. Again, you can save it in your folder, somewhere in your folder, and then allow it to save. Guys, I hope you see my screen, right?
Yes,
do you see my screen?
Yes, Doc.
All right, okay. So once that is done, you are sorted. You have downloaded it. And then now you can install it. Go through the process and install it very nicely. You will not open the R. I'll come to your questions, don't worry. You will not open the R where you open the R Studio. Okay, and ladies and gentlemen, one quick thing that you might not see the R Studio icon on your desktop even after installation. You might not see the R Studio icon even after installation. So how do you do that? Well, one thing you can do is that go to your search in your Windows and type RStudio. You see, RStudio. And once you start typing, it will pop out. The icon will pop out. Then you can pin it onto your taskbar, or you can click it to open it. And when you open it, this is what you get on your screen. Okay. So look for the R, because sometimes the mistake is that you will see the R on your desktop, but you will not see the R Studio on your desktop. And you'll be tempted to rather go and install the R Studio. Go and open the R Studio instead of opening. You rather make the mistake of opening the R instead of opening the R Studio. So here's the thing. You will install R. You will also install R Studio. But when you are opening, you will open R Studio and not R. You will open R Studio and not R. And you'll be using this for a lot of work. A lot of work. That's why I wanted to get it.